like a lot of young talent coming up through the ranks. So we look forward to getting the results from them for next season, and hopefully a few more wins on the board. Now the Rovers, we mentioned last season was their final game for the season, but they had two players, Devan and Tyson, played for the South, merged with Central against North. Unfortunately, North did take out the victory, but by all accounts, it was a great game. Our boys played really, really well, very competitive. Just weren't fortunate enough. But the fact that there's 11 players in the team, and two of them got picked to play.
Representative Guernsey at any level is it's a massive tick for any football.
That's it. So both soccer teams looking at a promising future. Donnie, WTF, I saw it on the notices last week when you pumped it out, and I thought we're community radio, we're not allowed to say that. But you explained quickly that it's something completely different to what we thought it was.
Well, it does mean what you think it means, but they've used those letters to call it Waterers Trail by Foot, which no one actually knows what it means. They just like to call it WTF. Essentially, the WTF is an event where we go down to Dwellingup. We run from Jarradale to Dwellingup. It's a 50-mile run. There are some crazy people that actually start at Dwellingup. They run to Jarradale, they turn around, and then they come back to Dwellingup. So it's 100 miles. And just for those that are metric, that aren't pre-metric.
The imperial system.
The old imperial system, that's the word I was looking for.
Or Americans.
That's 50 miles is 82 kilometres. So there's people that ran 164 kilometres. They do it through the night without stopping. Obviously, it's still not as far as Ronnie Hobbs is going, but they're also doing it very, very quickly. So the winners of the event, the 50-mile, was Ben Harris, who ran 82 kilometres in 8 hours and 20 minutes. And the female winner is actually a girl that I've done a bit of running with and had a little bit to do with, Martine Neild. She was actually third overall, so there was 30 or 40 odd competitors, and she beat a lot of the blokes home. Was third overall, first woman, 8 hours and 55 minutes for the 82 kilometres, which beat her previous record. She's actually won the 50-mile back-to-back. So that's
continuous.
That's continuous, yeah.
I'd be lucky to run for 8 minutes.
How'd you go, Donnie? Because I know you got involved and you had a fair crack as well.
Yeah, so we did I actually was involved in the relay, so there was 4 members of my team. It was myself, my wife, Raylene and Leanne were also involved as well, and we did the whole 82 kilometres together in a little under 12 hours. So I did about 20 kilometres of the 82. Which is...
So there was no heavy lifting on your behalf?
No, not really. I'll let the girls do most of the heavy lifting for me.
Everyone had their 20Ks to do.
That's it. For the 100 milers, Keith Holt was the winner in 19 hours and 11 minutes, and Margie Hadley for the girls, also under 20 hours, 19 hours and 57 minutes.
That's incredible. I get cranky just staying up for 19 hours and not going to sleep, let alone running the whole time as well.
No.
That is just... That is a wonderful effort. Now, what is the WTF for? What's that in aid of?
It's just a running competition, so it's just a chance for people to qualify for bigger events. So there's points involved for world events. So there's runners that come from all over the place to get involved. For the local guys, the Ellenbrook guys, so there was 4 people that from Ellenbrook that went down and did the 50 miles. The best of them was Jason Atkins. He had a fantastic run. He really, by the time he finished, he was shivering. His body was sort of going into shock. He did it in about 10 and a half hours for the 50 mile. And a couple of the others, their bodies sort of really broke down. Leith Wilson, who he actually was running with Jason for the first 35, 40 kilometres on that sort of 10-hour pace, and his knees really started to give in, ended up finishing in about 13, 14 hours by the time he finished. Along with Jason's wife, Kira Lee, they both finished at exactly the same time. And it was about 8:30 at night by the time Tania Levine finished. She was the last of our runners to finish. And, she said wasn't a big fan of running in the dark. She said she kept seeing clowns jumping out from behind every tree when the sun went down, so she didn't enjoy that part of it.
Yeah, it was a bit nasty of you running down the track and jumping out dressed as clowns the whole time while she's trying to run. What time did you get the first beer down?
Just very, very shortly after I finished my legs, I did the first leg. I was actually the only person in my team that got wet, so that was my part of the heavy lifting.
Oh, okay. So I'll give you
I ran in the rain and allowed everyone else to stay dry. So
Wonderful effort, mate. Now, Perth Speedway, Ellenbrook Speedway. We had the Ellenbrook Speedway come in and talk about the event last week. For those that remember, Anthony Heelan came in last week's episode, spoke to us for about 10-15 minutes about the upcoming event, so the Brian Rose Memorial. And he gave us a couple of predictions of who he thought would win, and one of those that he said would probably win would be Jamie Oldfield. Well, he wasn't off the money at all. He was on the money completely. Jamie Oldfield took it out. He's now won it 9 times. Now, whether they brought the Brian Rose Cup back to the Saturday, it's normally held on the Sunday. They brought it back because they were a bit worried about the weather. Now, they had a lot of restarts, so for those that aren't familiar, it is similar to
F1.
the F1, the V8, where you have the restarts if there's a crash, if there's a something happens, your safety car aspect of it. So there was a fair few of those. One, in fact, in the first lap, where someone's race was ended within the first takeoff. But Oldfield basically he got himself into good position. He caught up to.
Didn't have it all his own way during the heats either. I think he started from 4th on the grid.
He did, yeah. He wasn't right up the front, but he got himself in front. He caught up to the lapped traffic, so basically the guys that were labouring behind, and that gave Brad McClure a chance to catch up, and he's got himself involved in the race. But Jamie, to his credit, we've told was some real skillful driving in the weather with the weather conditions as they were, and managed to take out the top position, so wonderful to him. Brad McClure's come out second, and Daniel Amajuri, who was brought up during the show, mentioned that he was actually housing, well, the Amajuri family was housing a lot of the Eastern States guys that were coming over to race. He came in third, so wonderful effort for those guys. Now, they had a feature race on the Sunday, and I'm happy to mention that Anthony Heelan came in second. Probably could have come first, but he had a bit unlucky with his tyres. The first day he ended up with a DNF. Unfortunately,
he still got it together.
His wheels let him down. Yeah, car let him down a bit. Weather was a bit tricky, but second day he's come strong, and he's finished up second. Hayden Norman took out the win. So just a wonderful effort by the boys there, and by all the races. We did put up a list, a link for the Speedway. They do have another event on the 7th of October. Now, that will be their final event for the season. So, and registration's open now. So if you are a Speedway fan and you want to get involved, and
it's a twilight event too. So it's the only twilight event for the Ellenbrook Speedway all season. So it's it's certainly a special one to get along to. And I remember as a kid, over in the eastern states going to the speedways, it was always twilight meetings, and they were a lot of fun. So,
yeah.
No worries.
Well, don't let the weather they obviously got through they got through as best, and I think everyone in Ellenbrook would have known what the weather was like over the weekend. So, at least you can take it as a given that the organisers of the event, they're going to do their best to get it all through. So they're not just going to give up on it. So.
Yeah, that's it. It's a wonderful effort by the crew. There would have been a lot of maintenance work done on the Saturday night into the early hours, getting that track ready for Sunday, and a lot of moving around and management to bring the main event to the Saturday as opposed to the Sunday. So just cracking effort by everyone involved. Hopefully people get down to the event on the 7th. So it is on Ellenbrook Road in technically Bullsbrook, but at the Ellenbrook Speedway. We're going to go to a quick notice and we're going to be back with the Controversy Corner.
On VCA 885 FM, where the Valley comes alive, this is In the Sheds. If you've got something to say about the show or something happening in your community, contact us via Facebook. Back soon. It's time the boys got serious. Strap yourself in for Controversy Corner.
Welcome back to In the Sheds with Albie, Brucey and Donnie. And guys, you're listening to us on 88.5 FM where the Valley comes alive. Now, we've got the Controversy Corner. We've got if you want to have a input on this, Donnie, what's our Twitter handle?
At the Sheds 885 on Twitter.
Fantastic.
We're monitoring it throughout the show, so if you feel really compelled, jump on and send us a tweet, and we'll try and respond to you as the show goes along.
That's it. Now, Brucey, you want to kickstart our Controversy Corner this week. Now, what's...
Well, it's a little bit... It's got a lot more to do with what's basically been happening in the AFL. Goal of the year. Seriously, you can't really blame Rioli for being what he is, but I had a bit of a look at it, and I wish I could claim this as my own research, but listening on a rival station, did we know that Rioli's goal, because each round they nominate 3 goals to get to go through, Rioli's goal was not goal of the round.
I did not know that.
I
did not know that.
His goal was not goal of the round. Mark Murphy won goal of the round. Carlton versus Essendon, round 3. Now, I'm still getting into this, but apparently everyone votes for goal of the...
Yeah, goal. So there's 3 that are nominated. You vote for goal of the round, and then there's...
Mark Murphy's goal got 55% of the votes. Rioli's goal was only 37.3% of the votes. So
didn't win goal of the round,
it did
but
not
win goal of the year.
So it shouldn't have even been in contention.
How has this happened? We do know the AFL manipulates things to suit itself, but that is just...
But why?
Kidding? I don't know. Mark, I must admit, Rioli is a good news thing, but so is everyone else.
Well, I mean, this was also probably the first time, and feel free to send in and tell us if this is incorrect, but I think this is the first time in AFL VFL history that all 3 competitors were Aboriginal as well, which is great. I mean, Eddie Betts is a superstar, and I thought. I mean, he had at least 5 entries that game, let alone for the season. I mean, I thought he had it well and truly in the bag, and everyone loves Eddie, but I mean it was a good goal, don't get me wrong, for Rioli, but I did not know that he wasn't a goal of the round winner.
I think that's been probably roundly criticised as well, is me being an Essendon supporter. I had no expectation of seeing anybody else winning Mark of the Year. So for Danaher to get Mark of the Year, I think he was just about ready to get up and go get another drink. You know, he was like, yep, righto, that's done, I'm done here. I don't have to have the camera on me. And goal of the year. Mark of the Year. Done your trick.
Yeah. For those that didn't notice, I actually put that on Facebook that Joe Danaher won goal of the year. So I quickly jumped on and edited that. So now it's all fixed now. But look,
I don't think there's been many times in my life where I've ever thought Eddie Maguire's actually got a point.
But no, there's not many times.
No, actually, there is none. This is the first one. He's got a point.
It shouldn't be voted for by the public, and this has been the debate the entire time, because it comes down to the popularity contest, and I like to have a joke and say that.
It.
Well, you know, I mean, Collingwood fans might struggle to log in. You know, eight letters and a character. You know, that's hard to remember when you go for Collingwood.
That's 3 more than their teeth.
Yeah, exactly. So no, look, Jeremy Howe does it week in, week out, and what a few people had raised as well said, because Jeremy Howe does it week in, week out, does that take it away from, you know, the people who are voting go, oh, he does it every week, so it's not really that impressive anymore. And that could be the same for Betsy as well. I mean, like we said, Betsy did 5 of them in a game, like most of the time, and you're sitting there going, well, yeah, Betsy did. It's an amazing goal, but if someone else had kicked